shall we?
We shall hop directly into the Dud Bowl that I very much hoped wouldn't happen, but happened. Super
Right,
Bowl
right.
Super Bowl was yesterday as of this recording. As Ashley stated, she got the her score prediction pretty much correct. She said it was going to be multiple touchdowns. It almost feels like it should have been more than what it was to begin with. Um, but yeah, quick thoughts on this. Kind of like I said, pre-recording. I don't think there's much to talk about or discuss. I mean, Seattle's defense played a great game. Kenneth Walker had an amazing game. And there was just something missing from the Patriots. I expected them to somewhat struggle, and I didn't have high expectations per se, but I didn't think they would look that bad. I didn't think they would struggle that much to score, for that matter. Even getting in decent field goal position, but yeah, it just kind of felt like I don't know, just felt like a dud, and yeah, I don't know who's to blame per se, but I don't know. I just don't think this was the best matchup we could have got. But it is what it is. Congrats to the Seahawks, Congrats to Sammy D. You know what I mean? But I digress. That's about all I got for me, man. What were y'all takeaways or thoughts on the Super Bowl?
Not the best matchup we could have gotten. I think Seahawks Broncos would have been a lot more fun if Bo Nix could have stayed healthy. But just as suspected, Drake May couldn't hold up against that blitz. They blitzed the entire game. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And it's not all on Drake May. Obviously, Will Campbell struggled mightily against DeMarcus Lawrence, which is something you'd expect. But on the other hand, Steve, you said you wanted to see a game where Sam Darnold kind of took over, and I think yesterday was that game. The way that he was, I've never seen Sam Darnold step up in the pocket under pressure and deliver throws the way he did yesterday. I've never seen that. And I think it's because of his ability to do that yesterday that opened up the lanes for Kenneth Walker to be able to run through. And granted, he's a very patient runner, but if Sam Darnold isn't defeating the blitz like that and making the defense respect them, then those lanes don't open up. So kudos to Sam, kudos to K9, like you said, and just a really good game. I was impressed by how well they were able to play, even with JSN being kind of isolated as well.
Yeah, agreed. Having a great running game helps a lot. It takes a lot of pressure off of everybody else. So yeah, Miguel.
Wish Cardi would have performed.
Yeah,
But
I
other
do
than that,
too.
great halftime show. I mean, Kid Rock really, you know, did his thing, stepped up to the plate when no real American was going to be there. But no, for real, the real Super Bowl. Let's talk about Bad Bunny for a little bit. It was, I mean, for those that didn't understand Spanish, how was it for y'all?
I
that
enjoyed the message. And I said this about last year's Super Bowl where Kendrick had a lot of hidden messages. I love those types of performances. So didn't understand anything he said, but I loved like going through the fields and like the little bodega that the lady was at and him announcing all of like the Caribbean and South American nations. That was awesome. Incorporating Lady Gaga, I thought that was cute too.
Uh,
Um, yeah, I enjoyed
Ricky
like deciphering.
Martin,
Yeah, Ricky Martin was awesome. I
come
enjoyed
on.
deciphering it.
so come on.
I mean, as a Puerto Rican, I was proud. It was, you know, if anyone has an opinion that is averse, it wasn't for you. Uh,
Exactly.
for those who know, they know real Americans, blue-blooded Americans from the Taino culture. Um, I thought it was great. Sonically, beautiful. Set list was great. He played El Apagón. I wish he would have got to the part, but obviously it's a Super Bowl kid show. No one would have understood it, but yeah, I just had a ball. My family, went all out, as you could see, pre-show. Um,
Oh, that was your family?
yes, yes.
Yo, that
Oh,
is crazy. I thought this was some. Well, okay, I did see Dante, so that made me realize it wasn't a random video. But I
Yep.
would not have thought that that was your family. I thought that was some
no.
video you found on the internet at first.
I am not Dominican, and I am black. and I am Puerto Rican. So I mean, it's a mix.
Block is crazy.
La
Block
mezcla.
is
And
hilarious.
I, honestly, I could have been talking about your black side, Gail. So honestly, we don't leave it up to
We're
interpretation.
like the pinnacle family. I don't know why we are the unison of everything, but we are the main character family. Where it's like we're always at our crib, and
Yeah,
everybody,
block
JJ's
is
wings,
crazy.
arroz con gandules,
Go
some
ahead, JJ's.
I told my dad, get on the phone. He said, what do I say? I said, extra lemon pepper. He said, extra lemon pepper. I was like, just like that. It was
I can't, I hate to admit this. Anytime I hear somebody say Bad Bunny, I think about you saying Bad Bunny, and
babon. I
I
mean,
hate it.
now we're becoming true Puerto Ricans.
Look, I haven't said it differently than that ever since he said it on the
Yep.
pod. Anytime anybody bring it up, Baboni.
Yeah.
Now you know, malo conejo, the one.
That's a little too advanced right now.
We're learning. We're on Duolingo.
Yeah.
We got our first babani, and then now we
Babon.
bit
Um,
of, bit of Spanglish.
No, it was but it was a really good show. I really enjoyed the set the most. Like, yes, had no idea what he was saying. I was grooving. I was vibing, regardless. Didn't need to know what he was saying. I was having a
Yeah.
good time, me personally.
The
But no,
message is understood. Body language.
yes. But no, the messages for sure, and just understanding really what was taking place in regard to like an artist with his origins performing at the Super Bowl during a time like this in this country, and even just with all the conversation and things going on around this performance and other performances that people were trying to use as substitutes and carrying on. It was just a big moment in general, I think, for music, but definitely for him. So it was dope to see. Yeah.
I digress.
Yeah, right. And that was the highlight. That was the Super Bowl. That was the highlight of the day, to be honest, because there just wasn't much to talk about. But last thing, I guess, regarding these teams, what I have heard is you have the conversation on the side of Drake May where he just kind of like stuck up the joint, right? But then you remember he's the second year quarterback, and there's still a lot of room to grow. And ultimately, you would think he still has some opportunity to maybe reach this place again. And this feeling of defeat, will only make him better, right? And I think that's pretty safe to say. And I think that, I wouldn't call this year a fluke, or anything like that. But I also think that them winning would have also looked a little weird to me, just given some of the other teams that we saw. So I'm glad there wasn't some kind of hidden agenda in that regard, like this feeling to push him and force him into that spotlight. But yeah, I digress. But with Sam Darnold, I think it's kind of interesting because even though they won and Sam Darnold did have a great game, I think the conversation around him still being kind of like this system QB and essentially that any competent quarterback with this Seattle team probably would have won the Super Bowl is some of the conversation that I've seen recently, but want to get you all thoughts on how you feel about these quarterbacks post Super Bowl.
My outlook on Drake May hasn't changed. Like you said, second year quarterback exceeded a lot of people's expectations, regardless of how easy his schedule is. We've seen some quarterbacks with easier schedules not get as far, be as successful as Drake May has been this season. As far as Sam Darnold, yes, initially I did think, he's a competent QB, so Seattle will be in good position regardless. However, like I said, the way he played yesterday, are y'all frozen?
No,
Okay. The way he played yesterday, that was beyond competent QB level of play. Competent QBs aren't just going to step up in the pocket like that and straight deliver darts. And so I think the type of defense that he faced yesterday kind of dispels that argument for the Super Bowl. But throughout the season, yeah, you can make an argument for that.
good point. I'd agree.
I don't think anything changes for me for either because one of my students told me that Drake May was battling through injury. How valid that is, I don't know. Um, and yeah, with Sam Darnold, I think I've become less critical, but I think my point still stands. Like he didn't win MVP. Um, so I still believe he is a good quarterback.
You believe Drake May or Sam Darnold is a good quarterback?
I think they're both good quarterbacks. I think Sam Darnold is a more proven quarterback.
Yes, I'd agree. And I think that makes sense given the trajectory of their careers up to this point. Again, with Drake May only being in his second year. And actually, I do agree. I think that regardless of whether you would take another quarterback over Sam Darnold at this point, I don't think that's really the conversation that should be had right now, given that they just won. And you can't take away that he did have a really good year. He's had back-to-back 14-win seasons with two different teams. So this isn't really a question of Sam Darnold, but I think again, obviously, with this position, one quarterback is the most critiqued position in football, so that's not surprising. But I think the media is so hesitant to kind of hand over the reins or give props to players in general, I would say, but especially when it comes to quarterbacks. And I think that Sam Darnold's trajectory has made it kind of easy to maybe, try to look at the holes in his game versus just appreciating, where his journey has brought him up to this point. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the expectations are super high for Seattle going into next year. I don't expect the NFC to be easier. I think there are teams that will come back looking for revenge. There are teams that will come back better, healthier, XYZ. So it definitely won't be a cakewalk, but I think it'll be interesting to see how they respond and maybe how Sam Darnold responds specifically to kind of reaching this point in his career. And yeah, if he becomes one of those quarterbacks that now kind of has to be reckoned with. But yeah, I don't know. We shall see.